Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to no, not Chop Talk. We've been doing so many Chop Talk. Welcome to NJPW Puroresu Review. I am your co-host Undersea. Right over here is the prickly princess herself. It's Melball. How you doing, Melball?
Oh, yeah, it is. It really is. I'm doing great, Andre. I went back to the gym today. I was doing cardio for all the week because my shoulder has just been it's
Father.
been a burden. It's been a burden, yes. I actually was able to do some leg machines today without triggering any pain or spasms in my back, so I'm happy about that. Finally properly scoot this booty. God damn it. How are you
Scoot
doing,
that
my friend? You
booty.
were sending me some gym stuff today. You look like you're having fun.
Yeah, guys, back in the gym today. I did my workout that I usually, because I'm taking the summer off and working with Rich King. He's still keeping me on a program and everything, like on the app, so I can
Mhm,
still keep track of my workouts. But I'm just taking summer off. I'm actually working with him directly. But
mhm.
so I did the workout I usually do with him. I scaled things back down a little because he usually pushes the weight very high when we're together because he's there to support me if it gets too much or something. So I scaled down to about 80% of what we normally lift and then I'll build myself up that way. But it was a good workout.
I mean, that's fair. You think if after the time that I've taken away that I can just go in and start pushing my heaviest weight.
Mm-hmm.
Got another thing coming. I couldn't even push it past 200 today. Disappointed in myself.
Hmm. You'll get there.
I should be at 250 like I was. What the fuck?
You'll get there someday.
Rude. Just rude of my body to do the things that it does to me. How dare it?
Mm-hmm. How dare your body be your body and not want and not and be injured and not in the right shape.
Stupid and not freaking fixed and shit. Yeah, how dare it? The audacity of my body nowadays. But we're not here to talk about my body.
We're
Nay,
not.
nay. No, not mine.
We're to talk about other people's bodies and what they do with them in a professional wrestling ring. But before we do that, I want to thank each and every one of you guys, whether you're watching on video, whether you're watching on or you're listening on Sunday night's main event. Thank you so very much for supporting us. If you are listening on SNME Radio, thank you so much. Please like us on your podcast catcher of choice. Give us a 5-star review if you can. If you're not listening to us on there and you want to hear us on a form, go to Sunday'sMainEvent.com, get the RSS feed there, and support them by going to chopped-tees.com. And you can get their merchandise over there under the SNME banner on chopped-tees. And if you're watching us on the video, whether it's Backbreaker or whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's uh, that one or that one, trying to mess with Melball, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker video, thank you so very much for supporting us. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us. I'll tell your friends, family, and just all the prickly little people that just like to screw with our lives. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alert. Oh, and also don't forget to share us out to all of your cousins and hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Hello.
Hello. Oh dear. Lord have mercy. This
Uh,
this episode is going to be unhinged and feral.
Oh, is it ever? So we're here to talk New Japan Pro Wrestling. We're going to talk some of the New Japan Soul Tour, particularly the G1 qualifier matches from the 3rd and the 5th, along with the main event from July 5th that has uh, Douki challenging El Desperado for the IWGP Jr Heavyweight Championship. Hey, I think this is the soonest we've recorded a show after a New Japan event in a while because we're literally recording this the next day. This is actually pretty fast for us.
Yeah.
So usually we have
Yeah,
like 2 or 3
yeah.
days. It's just 2 or 3 days
Well,
for us.
like we did say we're gonna just particularly watch the qualifiers, but
Hmm.
so that kind of takes away some of the show. But I still got to watch some of the undercard shows on the other show.
I'll admit I only watched the qualifiers on both shows and the junior heavyweight title match, so I didn't watch any of that. And I did as much as that 3-on-3 LIJ versus LIJ match looked, as good as that looked. I was like, I just can't sit there for half an hour and watch this match where I got to get these other ones done because I have other things in my life else I have to get done at the same time. I'm going to try and go back and watch that match, but
You have to. It's a very, very well done match. Considering we have the one team, besides the United Empire, arguably, that has the most fluidity with it, where they just have that lack of communication, effortless communication. It's the way they flow is so good to see all six of them facing each other for that. It was so good. And they knew each other so well. So the amount of reversals and counters was just so entertaining and good. I highly recommend you go back and watch it, man.
I plan to. Just I haven't had the chance yet. So
Later. Well, I mean, you work two jobs. I get it. And so will the viewers.
Yeah, I'm a busy dude, so and trying to get my workouts in and trying to take care of all of this stuff. It's a toughie.
Adulting is not fun.
No, being an adult really sucks.
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
No, don't become an adult if you can avoid it. Just stay a kid forever.
Peter Pan, that shit. Second star on the right, straight on till morning.
I've been watching Once Upon a Time, and in that show, Peter Pan is a bad guy. So
that is true. Let's get into the wrestling before we get sentimental.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk the July 3rd show here. Wrong button. There we go. We got it up. So we're kicking it off. It is the battle of the second battle in this tournament of the never open weight 6-man tag team champions. This time it's Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, Presidente, the man who will never leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's taking on his protege, his young guy, the young lion who is a two-time champion, Boltin Oleg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Tanahashi is a lifer. Clearly, I mean, El Presidente, he can't really go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. So Boltin gets the advantage early with his size, but Tanahashi ends up drop kicking him in the knee. Gets some dragon screws, working over the knee. Boltin comes back with that big old boy drop kick. He gets a scoop slam and follows it up with the flying body sausage. He gets his swinging gut wrench into the gut wrench suplex, just tossing Tanahashi around. Boltin stops a sling blade at one point, but Tanahashi comes back with a beautiful twist and shout, then follows with the sling blade, like he can only get to this beautiful spot. Tanahashi goes to the top, but Boltin catches the aces high and gets a Death Valley driver for 2, but then Tanahashi rolls him up for 2. Boltin then fires up, gets a kamikaze to Hiroshi Tanahashi, then hits another, and Boltin Oleg is going on to the B Block Qualifying Finals.
Yeah, this was a really fun match. Really fun match. It's been a while since, like, I hate to say it because it has been a while since I've enjoyed a one-on-one Tanahashi match fully, because he has been a hurting unit as of late. But holy heck and crap! From Forbidden Door to this, it was so good. I mentioned it in Japanese Wrestling Update. I'm going to mention it here. Boltin Oleg definitely leaning out for this G1 run. He's always looking big, always looked big, but he's never looked like really lean. He has leaned out for this. I'm hoping what you thought might happen in the G1, Andre, where he debuts gear, debuts music, shows that he's graduated. I'm hoping that that's the case when the G1 officially starts, because I feel like that would be a nice little reward for this match.
Whoa!
Especially.
Spoilers. We don't know if he's in the G1
I
or
said
not.
for this match.
Oh, okay.
Come on now. Frickin'
You did
frickin'
say it'd
man.
be good to see it when he's in the G1. You did say that.
I did. I said a good reward for this match, though. Pay attention to my words, sir. There was that springboard splash that Oleg does that I really, really like. He didn't hit it, but he does it. And I really like it. You know the one I'm talking about where he springs off the second rope
Mm.
and then does a splash. Tanahashi was able to roll out of the way, but the way Oleg does it, though, it is so picture perfect and so
Oh, the
precise, so
Vader
good.
bomb. The Vader
Yeah,
bomb. Yeah.
sure. It just looks like I'm trying to learn the
Well,
functional.
classic American wrestler who made his name in Japan, Big Van Vader, would go up to the second rope and come off into a splash, and that's the Vader bomb.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See, I'm just trying to learn what the base name is. I just call it what I think it is.
I know what we should call it. The
What?
sausage bomb.
Oh, sure, why not? There's also that fireman's carry, front flip that Oleg does. What is that?
Oh, that's the kamikaze.
That's a kamikaze?
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
just
know that.
yeah.
I
They
I
only
couldn't figure
recently
it
named
out.
it
Well, and I heard him say it a couple times, and I'm like, "Is that what it is? That weird, almost spindly bindly looking thing?"
the Green Bay
Almost.
Plunge, now known as the
That was
kamikaze. Yeah. Mr.
inverted
Kennedy
spindly
used to
bindly?
Mr. Kennedy used to do that same move, but he would jump off the second rope with somebody on his shoulders and land the
Yeah.
same way Bolton does, and that was called the Green Bay Plunge. So that's what I've been calling it until they named it the kamikaze.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
good to know. Yeah, I like that. It looks good. It's really cool. It's a unique move. He's strong enough to do it, and he's probably strong enough to do it onto somebody like Jeff Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, what a win for Oleg in this. To dethrone, if you will, the once in a century talent that is Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is what, the first time in 20 years, 21 years? That
22 years.
Tanahashi 22 years, that Tanahashi has not been in the G1. What a historical upset.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Crazy, crazy cupcakes.
Crazy
Great
cupcakes.
match, though.
Crazy cupcakes.
Crazy cupcakes topped with Cocoa Puffs.
If any Brooklyn Nine-Nine fans out there, Quazy cupcakes
Crazy cupcakes.
with a QW. Quazy with a QW. It's from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I know, I'm not recalling that.
Yeah. We move on. It's Kenta versus Callum Newman in another G1 qualifier for the A block. Kenta immediately taking Newman outside, whipping him into the barricades and kicking him around, tossing him in the ring post. They go back in. Kenta gets up on the apron, but Newman drop kicks him off the apron, hits a plancha. Newman whips Kenta hard into the barricade. He gets a John Woo drop kick or the shotgun drop kick into the barricade, sending Kenta into the barricade. Kenta ends up stopping a suplex, though, and suplexes Newman on the floor, and that looked pretty nasty.
There
Kenta's
was that wheelchair guy who was right there trying to get out of the way. Bless his heart, just moving the motorized thing as quickly as he could.
I appreciate the urgency because I've seen little kids not get out of the way and get kicked in the
Right, just
face.
stand there like, hit me.
And they get
Yeah.
kicked in the face.
And I'm just sitting there, where's the young boy? Where are the young lions?
Yeah, I'm sorry. These young lions are not doing a good job of protecting the crowd and moving everything. Like,
No.
I miss the days of Yuto Nakashima and Loy Bay
Oscar Lay boy, yeah.
and all that era of even like Bolton Oleg when he was first as a young lion. He was one of the only ones like he was the last of that crew there as young lioning,
Yeah.
and he had at least learned from those boys.
Yeah. Yeah, this new batch of young boys, they are not on top of things. They are not grabbing those barricades. They're not taking care of the people. My boys, you have one job.
Yeah,
Protect the people. Think
yeah.
of the children.
Well, no, number one job is protect English commentary. Number two job is protect the rest of the people.
Yeah.
That's what
Number
we always
three
had.
job is to grab the barricades.
That's what we always had Libre for. And then when Libre left, even Boltin got put in that position.
Yeah, yeah. Now there's no one protecting. We saw Chris Charlton several times on commentary throughout these two nights, unprotected, just sitting there with his little microphone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Poor Chris Charlton.
They end up back. Newman and Kenta end up back in the ring. Kenta's just punishing Newman with kicks, like in the ring, out of the ring. Newman just keeps calling for more. Then Kenta starts pulling at his face and runs Newman into the post on the outside. Later in the match, Kenta tries to run Newman into the ref, but can't. And Newman hits this beautiful rolling elbow, but Kenta ends up ducking the pump kick, and Newman literally takes Kenta Sato's head off. It was brutal. Oh, I felt so bad for Kenta Sato.
Kenta Sato has kind of been the target of a lot of frustration this tour. Last tour it was Marty.
Mm-hmm.
Marty was taking a lot of bumps, a lot of hits. Now it's Kenta Sato's turn. Poor guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Kenta hits him with a DDT, goes and gets a kendo stick and just starts wailing on Newman, just beating the ever loving piss out of him. Kenta gets the Defy title, but Newman ends up dodging and hits a Newman cutter, or the Os cutter, because that's what they call it on the commentary. But there is no referee to count the pin, and it's like a 1, 2. I think it was like an 8 count by the time he let go.
Yeah.
Newman gets the ref, but the ref's coming in, but he's not really looking. And Kenta hits a low blow, but he only gets 2 on the roll up. I was like, no, do not let it end here. And Kenta ends up hitting a Psycho knee, but he only gets 2. Goes for the GTS, but it is blocked. He comes off the shoulders, but Newman gets the arms in front of him to block the knee. Kenta then unloads with palm strikes, but Newman hits a beautiful pump knee out of nowhere, hits a drop kick into the corner to Kenta. It goes off the second, or goes up to the top rope and hits his double stomp to the back, follows it up, Newman cutter for the win.
Yes.
Yep.
So good. This match was fucking killer.
Yeah.
Okay. There was one point where Newman did that plancha to Kenta on the outside. He damn near soared over Kenta's head. It almost looked like a plancha into a sling blade. He had to actually kind of scramble to kind of hang on and grab onto Kenta as he soared over his freaking head. The power and just hops that this guy has is very comparable to Kevin Knight. I think we're looking at like the combo breaker of Callum Newman and Kevin Knight, or sorry, Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight in Callum Newman, which like, what a combination. Yeah, there was at one point on the outside there when Callum Newman had control of Kenta, he started doing those like little cocky kicks. You know what I'm talking about? Where they just kind of give them that tap, like, come on, man, get up, get up. I was like, bruv, don't do that. You are not going to like what happens with that. And he did not. Because holy hecking crap, did Kenta come back with a vengeance on that one. And we saw Kenta do some cocky kicks later in the match, which were kind of like 10 or 20 times harder. He was not impressed. The shotgun drop kick, or what do you guys call it now?
John Woo drop kick.
Is there a reason? I'm going to have to figure out what that is.
Finn Balor / Prince Devitt.
Who's John Woo? I don't know who that is.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I mean, join the list of every man in my life. Like, what the hell? Like, who is that? Is that someone I should know?
It's not a wrestler. Don't worry.
Well, then, why are we surprised?
The man is a Hong Kong filmmaker who was very much well known for martial arts movies from Hong Kong, and when Devitt was originally in New Japan, when he would do the shotgun drop kick into the corner, they named it the John Woo drop kick in honor of one of the best martial arts directors have created in John Woo.
What in our history together would suggest that I am a avid watcher of martial arts movies?
Nothing, but I just thought maybe.
No. Sorry, guys. In this situation, I am the dumb airhead girl. Sorry. Although I have an interest in it, I just don't have anyone to watch them with and no one to force me to sit down and watch them. So we're gonna give me a pass on this one. Okay.
We'll
John
hang out
Woo.
soon, and I'll
Okay.
bring up and we'll watch a John Woo movie.
I'm still gonna call it a shotgun dropkick because that just makes
That
sense
is,
to me.
and again, that is its technical name. I just like calling it a John Woo dropkick.
Okay. Now that we've gone off on that tangent, the second match in, um, the shotgun dropkick, John Woo dropkick by Callum Newman to Kenta, which sent Kenta through the gate, was so freaking cool. It just really, at that point, I felt racked up the intensity of the match. That was a part where Newman was also trying to get that suplex off, and that poor little wheelchair guy was just doing his damnedest to get out of the way. That was funny. And then he didn't even need to because Kenta reversed it.
Hmm.
So much wasted energy. Cocky kicks returned. Yeah, for the rest of this match, Kenta was really punishing Callum Newman, and I felt for this guy because, man, youngest guy at this point, I believe, to be trying to get entered into the G1 at 21 years old, right?
Okay, so I was listening to commentary on the show from the 5th. It might
Mm-hmm.
not, because La Sombra, aka Andrade, was around the
Uh-huh.
same age as Newman when he did his first G1. So depends on when their birthdays are, or when the birthdays are in the year.
Right. I did remember hearing that mentioned quite a bit, yeah. Um, okay, well, anyway, don't like to see a 21-year-old getting mercilessly beat by someone like Kenta with a kendo stick. Because goddamn, that's a word. Yeah, we know Kenta and his sticks. His affinity for sticks. So he likes to beat people with his sticks. That's what it is with Kenta. But that I don't get to have a Kenta vote in the G1. This breaks my heart. That being said, Callum Newman, you better frickin' take it, boy. Because now you're my Kenta.
Mm.
You defeated Kenta, now you're my Kenta. Good, take her home. Yeah, this match. Off the chain, man. This was crazy. This was exactly what I expected out of these two. I expected Callum to be fighting hard, and I expected Kenta to be fighting harder. And I got exactly that. Great match.
Yeah, again, I love this. It was so good. So good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We move on. It is TJP versus Taichi. Yeah, this match was fire. TJP getting the lace wash to Taichi, but Taichi escapes to the floor to avoid the running boot. He avoids the wrecking ball drop kick, and then hits a lariat at him on the apron. And he's like seated on the apron, and he lariats him. He ends up running TJP into the barricade and starts kicking the crap out of TJP's chest. Taichi ends up doing his own face wash in the corner and then starts stepping on TJP's head. Again, I love the little plays that they did with each other here. When TJP got back control, he gets an arm snap to Taichi. Taichi rolls out, and this is where TJP gets his wrecking ball drop kick over the top. He gets him back in, hits a lariat off the top. He gets Taichi in the corner, and this is where he does his lace wash and running boot twice.
Yes.
Yeah, TJP ends up super kicking the legs out from under Taichi on the second rope at one point. And it's a rope-assisted final cut. But TJP misses the running knee, but hits a super kick. But Taichi comes back with Gamengiri and rips the pants off.
Pants.
Pounce.
Pants.
TJP gets a Pinoy stretch to Taichi, but Taichi gets the rope. Taichi stops an octopus, and he gets a hard forearm, then hits the dangerous backdrop for 2. The end of the match comes. Taichi hits Gamengiri, then an axe bomber, but TJP kicks out at 1. Gamengiri again, and Taichi hits Black Mephisto for the win, and I was very sad.
Me too. Me too. I was really gunning for TJP in this one. Really, and he was working so hard and so good. I was like, oh shit, they're gonna give it to him. Frick yes. But you're right. They played so well off each other with, especially with those face wash attempts back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It was so good. Um, there was that drop kick, I think it was supposed to be that first attempt at the drop kick that Taichi moved and TJP missed, and then Taichi hit him with a lariat on the apron there, the spot I'm talking about. That looks so rough. So rough because TJP landed really, really awkwardly. I mean, how do you land not awkwardly on the apron? He landed really awkwardly, and then to just have someone else's freaking arm just planted across your chest right away probably didn't feel too great.
No.
The second face wash attempt by Taichi that got reversed into the dropkick Rana by TJP was just so smart. So smart. I love how smart TJP wrestles, especially lately. He's just been that like cool cucumber who just does not show the sense of urgency or stress on his face when he's working. He just goes to work, and I love it. Um, yeah, I don't have anything else to add after that. This was my match of the night, to be honest.
Oh,
I loved this match.
I'll be honest, Kenta and Newman were my match of the night. I thought that just
Oh
because the
yeah,
speed and the intensity of it was so good. But it was only a
that's fair.
fraction above this one. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. That one was my close second.
Yeah. So to the match I had the least investment in because it's Ishii. He's a monster, don't get me wrong, but it's Yoshi freaking Hashi, and I just don't care about Yoshi-Hashi anymore. It is Tomohiro Ishii versus the human Ninja Turtle, Yoshi-Hashi. Ladies, we've been wearing a shell
Let's
right
be
there.
honest, though, this picture is the most normal picture I've ever seen of Yoshi-Hashi in a hot minute.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. This match was these two beating the piss out of each other. They get into this crazy,
Yeah.
like the spot Ishii's chopping the shit out of Yoshi early. They get in the spot where they're just
Sword hammer.
Yeah, you sword hammering them. They
Yeah.
just trading chops at one point. It's just brutal. Ishii hits this like sick headbutt, and then Yoshi comes back to the drop kick at one point. Ishii hits that running launching headbutt that he does. Yoshi ends up scoring a super kick and a fisherman brainbuster, but only gets 2. Uh, Later in the match, Yoshi-Hashi reverses the brainbuster into Karma that is reversed back into a brainbuster that is reversed into a DDT by Yoshi-Hashi. It was just reverse. It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Ishii with a huge launching headbutt, but Yoshi-Hashi comes back with a lariat. Ishii blocks a powerbomb, so Yoshi-Hashi hits a Canadian Destroyer for 2. Yoshi hits a roaring lariat for 2, fires up. Ishii reverses Karma into a Snapdragon. Ishii hits some strikes, comes with a huge lariat for 2. Yoshi stops the Brainbuster with a Snapdragon, hits multiple super kicks, gets that Crucifix Bomb, and then sets up and hits Karma for the win. Yoshi in the next. Yoshi possibly can go into the G1 instead of Ishii.
Yeah. You know, and I also like, mind you, we have seen Oleg versus Ishii, haven't we? I feel like we have.
I don't know. I don't think 1-on-1.
Hasn't it been in one of the openers, like just one of the random openers when he was
Possible.
getting ready?
It's
I
possible.
feel like it was. It was something I would have rather seen. I would have rather seen the intensity in the next round as opposed to because the next one was Yoshi-Hashi versus Oleg, correct?
Mm-hmm. No, Yoshi
Yeah.
versus Callum.
Oh. Oh, yeah, then never mind. No, this is fine.
I still would have rather seen Yoshi. I would rather see Ishii versus Callum.
No, because he got the holy heckin' crap beat out of him with Kenta. I mean, what Yoshi-Hashi got, he would have fed to Newman as well. We needed something a little different for Newman to show off his abilities before going into the G1, where he's going to be having to deal with all these different kind of styles. So I think it showed him off a lot better. So I mentioned the sword hammer. Ishii was definitely doing the sword hammer. And Yoshi-Hashi was kind of doing the sword mallet. It was just kind of, he was feeding him an elbow instead of the fist. So it wasn't quite as, I'm going to say, intense. Yeah, the chops in this frickin' thing were absolutely crazy. The back and forth was just, who knows each other better than these two teammates, though, right? Some of the original last remaining members of a dying faction in chaos. We'll see how much longer that sticks around. But yeah, I don't have anything else to add to this.
Yeah, I think we need an LIJ versus Chaos match just like in Stardom, where we had Oedo Tai versus Queen's Quest,
Queen's Quest?
and just eliminate all the members that don't survive. Let's do it, and have LIJ win, so that it's the only person left in Chaos, Toriano.
No. No. Oh, that's awful.
Then he
It
gets
has to happen.
Or no, the only person left is Yo.
He can't rightfully do anything to defend himself in this moment. Come on now.
Really, I'm saying he's going to be the one that wins or loses. He's the final loser of the match. So
Well,
he
yeah, because he can't
survived.
participate.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, let him
That's
him
not
work.
fair. Leave the faction, a broken faction with him. Poor guy.
It can be broken chaos.
Well, I mean, arguably that's what it is now.
Oh,
dear. Moving on.
Let's move on to the July 5th show. And before we get into the G1 match, I know you want to talk a little bit about Ryusuke Taguchi.
Yeah, he made his return back. Okay, hold on, let me grab my notes. Yes. Ryusuke Taguchi came back teaming with Hiroshi Tanahashi, Yuji Nagata, Tiger Mask, and one of our favorites, well, one of my favorites, because this man is just a joy and privilege to watch, Tomoaki Hamna.
Oh, I love Hanma.
Yeah, he was so dark. That man tans so much. Oh, I love it. They were taking on House of Torture. You can probably figure out who those all dipshits are. Evil Show, Dick Togo, Ren Narita, Yoshinobu Kanemaru. They came back and Taguchi was wearing a really fun shirt. Pretty much Los Ingobernables de Japón, but with Taguchi de Japón. It was noticed later in the six-man tag match between Los Ingobernables. Tetsuya Naito was kind of like, what the hell? Shingo Takagi was like, yeah, fisting. So yeah, unfortunately though, as is usually the trend in Japan, I find with retirement parties, with welcome back parties, they don't win typically. So Taguchi found himself on a losing end of House of Torture. Yeah, I suspect there's going to be some kind of something going on between Taguchi, Los Ingobernables de Japón, and House of Torture coming up soon, which I think would be fun. We need another story, I think, going on. And there isn't too many going on right now with the G1 kind of taking center stage.
I just realized Taguchi could literally create his own HO t-shirts and just be House of Taguchi. The abbreviations
And it
don't need
just
to
be a
change.
house with his face on every wall.
Yeah. Yeah. House of Taguchi.
There you go, Taguchi. There's your next shirt.
Here you go, buddy. I want royalties for it though.
House of Taguchi. Let's go.
So
Gotta
July 5th,
hashtag that.
we got the G1 Qualifier Finals. Starting off with the A block, Yoshi-Hashi, Callum Newman. The Japanese Ninja Turtle is back. Cal Newman coming out with his boys, TJP, Francesco Akira, and the Great Okan. TJP ends up joining Chris Charlton on the commentary desk for the remainder of the night, which was great to see.
Yes.
When he had Khan and Akira in the actual corner for him. So that right off the top, Newman gets speed and hits a beautiful pump kick to Yoshi early on. Yoshi ends up taking control of the match for a good bit. Yoshi with the chops. Newman comes back with forearms, but Yoshi comes right back on the attack with more strikes and chops. Newman ends up getting swept. No, that's it. That's right. Newman ends up sweeping Yoshi-Hashi's feet out from under him and hits a double stomp to the back, which looked really good. Newman gets that corner drop kick and hits a standing moonsault for 2. And just for TJP saying he's changing it up. He's adding little things in this game to keep them off balance. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I've seen him do a standing moonsault before.
Nope.
Newman ends up missing the Os Cutter, and Yoshi hits him with a headhunter. Yoshi goes to the top, hits a headhunter off the top. I can only get 2. Yoshi goes for it's a forearm, goes for running lariat, but Newman ends up hitting a beautiful standing Spanish fly. Os Cutter is stopped again. Yoshi-Hashi gets a snapdragon, but then they end up trading shots and kicks. Yoshi scores 2 super kicks, hits Kumagaroshi, but only gets 2. Karma is stopped. Newman rolls out, but Yoshi-Hashi ties him up, lifts him into a neck breaker over the knee. Then Yoshi-Hashi with the super kick to the face and hits a running Meteora for 2. Yoshi-Hashi comes back, roaring lariat, but he can still only get 2. He goes for Karma, but it's reversed into a stun dog millionaire, and Newman rolls Yoshi-Hashi up for the win. And Newman enters his first G1. I think La Sombra was slightly younger than him when he entered first, but he's one of the youngest people to ever enter a G1.
Yes. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And like, first of all, let's talk about Proud Papa TJP on commentary. Just
he launched out
cheering
of
his boy. Oh,
and he
it was
launched out to get in the ring and hug him.
Guess I know. I was getting there. Jesus, Murphy. I know. Tranquilo, my friend. Tranquilo.
Tranquilo's overrated.
You're overrated.
Oh, very much so.
Holy shit. This match wasn't anything you can do, I can do better kind of thing. Where
Nope.
Yoshi would start shit and Callum would be like, oh yeah, check this out. Oh yeah, check this out. Like it was just back and forth with these two. It was so freaking phenomenal. The ending though, it shocked me. It was a shocking ending and I loved it. I popped. I had no idea that I managed to not see any of the results going into this show. Ah, I was so happy. I don't even care if my neighbors hate me or not. The noises that I made were just feral. I loved it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add to this. I'm very excited to see multiple members of the United Empire in this tournament with Callum Newman, with Jeff Cobb, with Henare, Great O'Con. Did I say Great O'Con already?
You might have.
There's 4 members in it. Henare, Jeff Cobb, Great O'Con, Callum Newman. Yeah, 4. With Catch 2-2. I mean, this gives Catch 2-2 the ability to kind of refocus their attention, though, because while their guys, they can back their guys in the G1 right now, they have to also keep their eyes on that prize of the War Dogs, Drilla Maloney and Connors. So maybe we'll see those guys popping up in the tag team division again soon.
Yeah. TJP did talk on commentary about him and Newman both bulking up because Newman wanting to be considered a proper be a heavier heavyweight, and TJP saying he's been bulking up to get into that open weight division, and then going back down to the junior heavyweight division, then bulking back up to open. Like he got up to open weight for the New Japan Cup. Then he got back down to junior heavyweight for the BOSJ, and then now get bulking back up for the qualifier, for hopefully getting in G1. So yeah, now he's gonna have to cut back down to go to the junior tag, the Super Junior Tag League in the fall, in the late fall.
I'm not going to complain about TJP abs. Not going to complain about that at all, especially if we get the ass swung back with the mask and everything. Fuck yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yay! Boy's hand is raised. He's a champion, or at least a champion of the A block qualifier.
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves there, but
he won a tournament. That makes him a champion of a tournament.
Of a qualifier tournament. But yes, it is something to be extremely proud of at his age and at his stage of his career. 110,000%. Oh, we are taking a page out of Bobby Munson's book. We're going off the rails on this one. Holy shit.
You know it. So we move on. It is Boltin Oleg versus Taichi in the B block qualifier final match. Taichi, like Boltin, this is a weird start with Boltin just throwing strikes, but Taichi would kick the leg, but it's like, that's not smart. That's how you get your leg, like, just mess the serious up, buddy. Just not a good thing.
No. Keeping in mind, though, I mean, Boltin might have a very intense amateur background, but he's just getting into the professional kind of background. There's going to be a lot of stuff that he's not quite too privy to. Maybe graduating him might be a little too soon.
Yeah, they end up on the floor at one point. Taichi ends up like running Boltin into the fan chairs on the floor, just getting a little heelish in this point.
It's Taichi-ish. It's Taichi-ish. Taichi has and always will be probably that guy who walks that neutral line where he's a fan favorite and he has these tendencies to go off on one side or the other, depending on what suits him in that moment. Boltin Oleg came into this match a big face, very much over with the company, or sorry, with the crowd. But Taichi, also a crowd favorite, maybe not liking how crowds responding to Mr. Oleg.
Yes, end up back in the ring. Oleg fights back. It's a corner splash and ends up slamming Taichi and hits the flying body sausage for 2. He gets the gut wrench swing around into the gut wrench suplex, but Taichi comes back with a boot as Boltin is running at him in the corner. Taichi gets a dragon sleeper, but he ends up letting go. And even on commentary, like, that wasn't a good idea. Why did you do that? Yeah. I don't know why you would let go of a submission when you've got it in tight. He hits a head kick, and he pulls the pants off. Taichi goes for the thrust kick, but it's stopped. Boltin gets him up on the shoulders and hits Kamikaze. I thought it was over, but he only gets 2. Corner splash by Boltin, but Taichi ends up stopping another Kamikaze. Gets a dragon sleeper in, and this one is tighter, but Oleg fights his way out. And he gets him up on his shoulder and hits a Samoan drop. And you can see Taichi has damaged his ribs from that first Kamikaze because he's grabbing at his ribs both after the first Kamikaze and after the Samoan drop. The Kamikaze is then attempted again, but it gets reversed into a Gato clutch for 2. Then Taichi picks up and hits a dangerous backdrop, but can only again get 2. Taichi lines up, hits an axe bomber, but Boltin stops Black Mephisto and hits a slam that like he gets him up, gets him gut wrench on, like lifts him, and then just like kind of just slams him down. It was like, oh, okay. Boltin ends up hitting a running knee to the ribs for 2. And he goes for Kamikaze. This Taichi's just like punching him in the head. So he hits a freaking F5. Just he's very much the next big thing. Then he picks him up, Kamikaze, for the win. That is both of your young guys. Well, Bolton's 31, but both of the young guys in this tournament are into the G1.
I mean, and technically, Oleg is still a young lion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like Newman is not so he's a young boy. He's not
Yeah,
a young lion,
he was never
you
he
know?
was never. I don't think he was ever actually a lion, but he was UE's young guy, like
He's
their
the
young
Kosei
boy.
Fujita of United Empire
Yeah, he was never an
before
actual
Kosei
lion.
Fujita was the Kosei Fujita he is now. Y'all know what we mean.
Mm.
Okay, hold on. There was a thing in here on my notes that I wanted to mention. Um, there was okay, distinct attitude coming out of Taichi in this match. They were mentioning on commentary how he wasn't really taking Oleg seriously, and that he was kind of like not excited or interested in this match or wrestling Golden Oleg. The attitude that he was having, very evident at the beginning of this match, especially when he took him to the outside, started feeding kicks to Oleg, just the lack of care, but then the the lack of pull. Holy shit. The kicks he was feeding him were so solid. Like buzzsaw almost every single time. It was crazy. There was one point, so when Oleg was doing that gut wrench,
Mm.
wheedly deedly beedly thing that he does, and then he yeets Tai Chi, always super impressive. But then to have Oleg get up and have Tai Chi just buzzsaw kick him right after and just have him drop to the ground, I was like, oof, you might be strong, Mr. Oleg, but Tai Chi is a very, very, very smart wrestler. Yeah, this match took me by surprise. I knew I was going to enjoy it because I love Tai Chi, and I have been very much enjoying Boltin Oleg. I didn't expect Oleg to pull a win off on this one. I did expect Taichi to move forward in this, and I felt a little sad. I kind of felt the way kind of Taichi was reacting after this match, knowing that we're not going to see Taichi in this tournament. I could deal with Tanahashi. I could deal with Ishii. I can definitely deal with Yoshi-Hashi, but I'm a little brokenhearted that we're not going to see Taichi and Pants
Yeah.
in this G1.
So yeah, the A block is now our IWGP World Champion Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, Shota Umino, Sonata, the Great Okan, Zack Sabre Jr., Gabe Kidd, Pro Wrestling Noah's Jake Lee, House of Torture's Evil, and Callum Newman. B block is Hiroki Goto, Yota Tsuji, AEW and DDTs, Konosuke Takeshita, El Fantasmo, Yuya Uemura, Jeff Cobb, Hanare, David Finley, Ren Narita, and Boltin Oleg. So
Ah,
this year we have mainstays that are kind of out of this tournament this year. We've got no Yujiro Takahashi, no Tomohiro Ishii, no Hiroshi Tanahashi, no Yoshi-Hashi, no Taichi, and no Yano for a breakup comedy match. We don't even have a Yano anymore.
I feel like we will still get that breakout comedy match because we got House of Torture in this tournament, and that's just going to be some bullshit that is going to be laughable. Um,
Mm.
I
But not in a
feel
good way.
because I know, and because we have House of Torture participants in both blocks, we know that there's going to be like we know that Dick Togo is going to be out there with Evil. We know he's going to be a problem. But with Red Narita, for example, I
Yujiro.
feel like
Yujiro.
no, I feel like show. Sho has been kind of a loud mouth lately. He just lost the title. He probably wants to do something credible to get some attention back, and he kind of needs it. He's also jacked right now. I think that having him on tour would be a good idea, unless he's going into a tournament, because he looks like he might be doing the bodybuilding thing right now. Like he's really shredded. So I don't know if he might be competing right away or something, but like, no. Could be that also. But I feel if Yujiro is going to be a problem, he will probably be a problem in Evil's corner. I feel like Sho and Kanemaru would most likely be in Rita's corner. I actually I think more than likely Kanemaru with that Santori surprise. But yeah, I feel like House of Torture is going to be the comedic relief in this tournament now, and that some of the younger boys are going to really rack up that intensity, especially with Takeshita coming into there. Who knows what's going to go on with that, especially with him being in the B block. Oh, him versus Suji. Oh, let's go.
So watch out, not this week, but next week, we will be having our G1 preview special coming. Where we're going to go over each block. We're going to talk about each of the competitors. We're going to give you our top 3 per block. And then we're going to say who's going to be leaving each block after their tournament and who is going to be each of our winners. Because we have this 3-way quarterfinal, semifinal tournament before we actually get the finals this year. So
yeah. Make it make sense. Gato, fix it.
So that'll be coming up next week. So tune in. So stay tuned for that. We'll have it out on SNME Radio and on our show on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk and on Backbreaker Video. So we'll have that out before the G1 starts. Don't you worry.
Yes. So then you can detest our results, and then contest. That's what it is, not detest.
Yeah.
Contest. Words are fun.
So we're going to move on to the main event of the July 5th show. Oh, sorry. There's a picture of Oleg Boltin being raised by Taichi in a pure sign of respect.
Oleg.
But legally,
Boltin. No, read whatever it is that the company he's working for is calling him.
I'm going by.
It is
legal.
Boltin Oleg. Just call him Oleg for the sake of my sanity. Please, just call him Oleg.
Boltin getting his arm raised.
I don't care. Just one of the
Taichi
words.
In a pure sign of respect. I do very much like that. That Taichi did raise his hand after the match.
Yes.
They sign of respect. I did like that.
Yes.
And so our main event.
And I cried together in the ring.
Yeah. Main event. It's El Desperado defending his IWGP Jr Heavyweight Championship against Melball's favorite, Douki.
Douki.
The transitioning in the early minutes of this match. Oh my God. Just beautiful. Beautiful.
So good.
So they end up on the floor at one point. Douki gets backdropped up into the ropes, and he comes bouncing back over, ends up DDTing Desperado on the floor. He gets Desperado in. He goes for Daybreak, but he gets caught into that cross knee breaker. And Desperado is just punishing the knee, slamming the knee around. He slams it into the post, gets that post hung figure 4, just working the knee. Gets a deathlock on at one point. Yeah, just crazy. Douki ends up getting swept out of the corner and gets slammed by Desperado and gets hit with a thick-looking brainbuster for 2. Douki reverses Guitarra del Angel, but misses a dropkick, and Desperado gets the stretch muffler, but Douki fights and gets to the ropes. The pinche gets reversed and Douki ends up spearing Desperado into the corner. He gets a tornado DDT out of the corner, then hits a tope suicida DDT to Desperado on the floor. That would look so good.
So freaking sick.
He gets Desperado back in the ring, hits Daybreak over the top rope to hit Daybreak DDT in the ring, but he can only get 2. Immediately rolls into the Douki Choki, but Desperado eventually gets to the ropes. They're fighting. Suplex to Luna gets countered. Desperado gets this clover leaf on, pulls him away from the ropes, gets him into the stretch muffler. He's trying to go for numero dos, but Douki won't let him give him the other arm, so he gets the hand on the ropes to break it up. End of the match comes.
Question: when he put the clover leaf in, was that when he like turned around and started trying to smack him?
Well, no, it's when he sat down, looked like kind of like a sharpshooter, but you have the legs crossed in front of you instead of around your leg.
Yeah, but there was one point where he did it, he got that set up, but then instead of like sitting down, he actually was still standing.
Yeah, I don't remember him slapping him, but okay.
I thought he smacked him on the back of the head a few times.
He might have. I don't remember, but I know he did sit down on the back when he got it. He got it in deep. But that's where Douki went fighting to get to the ropes. Yeah. So the end of the match comes. Desperado gets out of Suplex de la Luna, hits the hard strikes. Douki returns with a hard strike, hits a Snapdragon for 2. He then wheelbarrows him up into Suplex de la Luna with the bridge for that 1, the 2, and your new IWGP champion, Douki, with the 3 count for the win.
Yes. Yes. Finally. I was just so happy. This was again another one that I hadn't had spoiled for me. I went into this match not knowing the end of it, and I popped like a mofo. And I don't care if my neighbors hate me or not. They make enough noise that I get to make some too. Um, this was freaking great. Holy shit. This was a great. I think this was one of the best IWGP Junior Championship matches I've seen in a little bit. Like Desperado and Show was pretty decent. I'll give it that. I mean, for what it was with Show, but like anything involving Show has kind of definitely been like lackluster as of late, just because of the House of Torture shenanigans. I feel this is that him losing the title and him kind of going back is going to be what's best for him, and this right here is going to be what's best for just 5 guys. We had Sonata, really forming and giving kind of some credibility to the starting of this faction with his IWGP title run, charismaticless as it was. And then we had didn't Taichi have the KOPW title for a bit? And then he dropped it to Akon, and then Yo-Yo Mura had it for a hot minute, and then he's dropped it back to Akon. This faction needs someone, and I don't want to say, when I say credible, I mean, I don't mean to say that like Sonata isn't credible, but it's like he has been gone on injury. He does have something to prove now that he's back. Douki is going to be the shining star for this faction right now that I hope will lead it forward into a more successful end of year.
That's for
And
sure.
yeah, they need to start coming out to his music now, because this is your champion. This is your representing champion. I was so happy for this. So happy. So many Doki Choki attempts too. The amount I lost my mind throughout this freaking match, I nearly cried. And that might be the hormones talking, but I almost cried.
Again, amazing match and amazing way to cap off the New Japan Soul Tour. I think the next show they have will be on the 13th, where it's going to be the new NJPW Presents Fantastica Mania 2024 Lucha Libre USA in San Jose, California.
Yes.
I'm going to just look at that card for a second.
Sure.
I'm gonna make us bigger. I'm gonna look at that card for a second. You have a Cope Fantastica 4-way match: Viento versus Adrian Quest versus the DKC versus Kukui. Cucuy. Kukui. Yeah. Don't know.
Okay.
Then you have the Kukui. I don't know. MLW World. An MLW World Tag Team title match, Cozy Max Okamura and Satoshi Kojima defending against Los Depredadores Magnus and Rugido. That's going to be an interesting one.
Okay.
Yeah. We have
Okay.
we have a CMLL World Women's Title match. It is Stephanie Vaquer versus Luvia.
Luvia, I heard that one. Yes, that's going to be freaking off the chain. Oh, because Vaquier is undoubtedly pissed. She
Then
needs
we get,
someone to take out some of that frustration on.
then we get a tag match. Hichisero and Virus versus
Yes.
TMDK, Bad Dude Tito, and Zack Sabre Jr.
Big toots.
Big Toots.
Big toots. Yes.
Maybe
Even
we'll get
Chris
it.
Charlton, big toots on commentary.
Maybe
That's
we'll get a dingle dangle.
you have to be quiet. Oh, the best kind of dingle dangle too.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Oh, could you imagine? Love of my life.
And then we get an El Babaro Cavernario versus Yota
Cavanario.
Suji. Cavernario versus Yota Suji. That's going to be sick.
Oh, I have to look up how Cavanario is looking right now because, like, back in the day, I really, really did enjoy his stuff. But I think since he had a knee injury, I'm a little hummy high on his stuff. Yoda Suji, though, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a killer match. Yoda doesn't seem capable of having a bad match, even if
Yeah.
it is against a charismatic-less Sonata.
Then we get a New Japan Strong Openweight title match. It's Gabe Kidd defending against Ultimo Guerrero.
Ooh, ooh, that is going to be good.
Mm.
Ooh, it's going to be interesting to see if he can pull off that little slap because you remember he has Ultimo Guerrero comes in with that little loincloth thing, that little
Mm.
pleather thing, and he always loves to whip whoever he's facing before he starts that. I don't think, sir, I would maybe advise against doing that to Gabe Kidd. Um,
Mm.
Kid is war ready all the time. That might slip him into war mode a little quicker than you would probably like.
Yeah. And then your final match on the card, it's Rocky Romero and Volador Jr. versus Douki and Mystico.
I have problems with this match
Yeah, why
because
is Rocky
Volador,
with Volador?
yeah, weren't they just feuding for like the longest time?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I'm not a big fan of Mystico, not because he's not a good wrestler. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He seems to be that person that's unnecessarily in everything. You know what I mean? Like he's politicked his way into absolutely everything, but I don't feel does anything quite, fantastical that would dictate that he needs to be there, you know? It might also be that the man just genuinely terrifies me. However, here we are. Go Volador and go Doki. That's going to go well for me.
Yep. And then they return to Japan on July 20th for the first day of the G1 Climax, and it will be both blocks on the first and second day. It's 10 matches both days. All G1 Climax matches. I think no, sorry, it's 10 matches on one day, then 9 on the other. B block is only going to have 4 matches on that second night, and then the following show is an A block show, but there is one B block match from the match that didn't happen on that second night. It's weird. I was looking at it, I was very confused, but it's happening.
I mean, look at the Stardom one too. I mean, that's just glorious, glorious chaos. I mean, Gator, we're gonna trust you, but like, we're worried.
Yeah. But it
There's some
is
general concern.
Yeah. But it is time for us to wrap this up. You can find me on the X at That Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at That Canada Dude. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, or on our YouTube page, Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and also you can check us out there. You can also find us over at SundayNightsMainEvent.com. Go over there, hit that RSS feed, get us in your podcast catcher if you want to hear us in audio form. If you want to support them, go to patreon.com/SNME radio for only $4 American a month. You can support them. And if you want to support them in other ways, you can go to chopped-tees.com, hit the SNME logo there, and go buy some fancy little merch from them. So yeah, hopefully, and yeah, you can support them there and wear your love for SNME on your body. You can also check me out over at twitch.tv/our local establishment this coming Wednesday, July 10th, as me and my boy Oleg. We're going into it. Marvel Talk, MCU Rebound. We're talking Avengers: Age of Ultron with our special guest, SNME host Boris Roberto Aguilar joins us on Marvel Talk this coming Wednesday, 10:15 p.m. Eastern, because me and Boris are both going to be watching Dynamite before this show. So yeah, we'll be on live at 10:15 p.m. Eastern time. So check us out over there and listen to us just love and hate on certain things in this movie. Because there's some bad, but there's a lot of great.
There was one great thing that I remember coming out of that movie, having never actually seen that movie.
Oh, okay.
You did not see that coming? I may have not seen that movie, but I know that line.
Pietro. How we miss you. How we miss you, Pietro.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Pietro. You can also find us over on Backbreaker Video, youtube.com/@Backbreaker Video. Mike Simulcast, all our stuff over there. And if you want to see Mike live, go to twitch.tv/Mike the Ref, where every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Sunday, he does his AEW watch-along, so check him out there. And then every other day of the week, except for Sunday, this July 7th, and Monday, July 8th, he will not be live on Twitch, but almost every other day of the week, he is gaming over there on Twitch, so check him out, playing all the different video games, sports, fantasy, all the other, every kind of video game you could imagine, he plays it on his channel. So go check him out there. And if you want to see replays of it, go to youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where you can find stuff from him, Mr. PJC, Mr. Rick Jules, that guy right there, and therefore you can guess, Kayla J.
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. We love Kayla J here.
We do.
We do.
Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky at Melball Collins. You can also find her on our local establishments program, Japanese Wrestling Update, with this guy over here every Friday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Unless it's not. And then we'll let you know on social media. However, this coming Friday, it is going to be live again for the second time in a row, because we can do that and we have nothing else going on a Friday night.
This is kind of sad.
Hey, at least we have wrestling.
We do. We always have wrestling.
We got wrestling. We'll always have wrestling. So stay tuned to see when those links are coming out. You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. We have a lot to talk about with women's wrestling this week, so we are going to be recording an episode and putting it out on Friday, hopefully before Japanese Wrestling Update at most likely 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Math is hard. I'm not very good at it. So stay tuned to our socials to see when that is coming out. If you're wanting to watch New Japan Wrestling, we will leave a link in the description box below. It's njpwworld.com. I don't really know how much the yen is now, but it's 10 Canadian. Yes. So good. Okay, anyway. Focus. It's It's not 10 Canadian, it's more like 14.50 according to this guy over here. That's still an amazing price to watch some amazing professional wrestling, not just from today, but you can go way back in the vaults, see all the older stuff that they have. You can see probably Hiroshi Tanahashi's first G1 if you want to go back and see that. So much good wrestling. NJPWWorld.com. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague. Do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
Again, just thank you all for supporting us, whether you're on the YouTube or on SNME Radio. And if you're on SNME Radio, please go over, give us a like, give us a 5-star review. We'd really appreciate it. If you're not, go over there, hit the RSS feed, add it to your podcast catcher choice. So many good shows. Along with ours, there is the weekly Sunday show, just reviewing the week in professional wrestling in general. There's the NXT reviews, the Raw reviews, the Smack Daddies every Saturday. You get their SmackDown review. I love it. My boy Brad, that dad over there, doing that show. And there's all elite geekly Dex Xavier Josiah and Boris Roberto Aguilar breaking down AEW every week. So it's so much more content over there. So go check them out. And if you are watching on our YouTubes, whether it's Backbreaker Video, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, thank you so very much. Please give us a like, give us a subscribe, comment down below because we love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to hit to share us out, tell your friends, family, and just all the prickly little cactuses that live in this world. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
No.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
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 Oh,
I know how to break you.
I know. Hey, this is the highest I've lifted my arm in a while without pain. It is a Puroresu miracle. And that being said, I am your Melball. Over there is Andre. We will see you next time. Adios.